Hi guys, welcome back to Mayday Minds. I hope you all are doing great. After seeing so many comments and getting so many messages, we are finally back with our second part of propagation of radio waves. Basically, in the previous video, we have already covered the properties of radio waves like diffraction, attenuation, reflection, etc. And then we also saw what is ionosphere, different layers of ionosphere, D, E and F layers, and what are their properties. And then we ended the video with wave propagation, in which we have covered the full portion of ground wave. And in today's video, we are going to be starting with sky wave propagation. So before starting, I would like you guys to press the thumbs up if you like our video and if you want us to keep posting many more videos like this. So before diving deep into sky wave propagation, let us quickly revise the types of ground wave propagation. Basically, first was surface wave, right? So here the radio waves used to travel along the curvature of the Earth's surface. Next was direct wave, where the radio wave was directly received by the aircraft from the transmitter. And third was ground reflected wave, where the radio wave used to get reflected from the ground and then it used to reach the aircraft. So these were the type of our ground wave, which was surface wave and space wave. And space wave has what? Direct wave and ground reflected wave. So now let us start with our sky wave definition. Sky waves are basically waves received after getting refracted from ionosphere. If you don't know about ionosphere, I would highly recommend you watch the previous video, which is part 1 of radio wave propagation, where we have discussed in detail the layers of ionosphere and the radio wave propagation in ionosphere. Okay, so waves received after getting, pay attention to this word, refracted from ionosphere. Now what is refraction? That also we have covered. If the radio wave is moving from one medium to another, it gets either refracted towards the normal or away from the normal. Okay, so the radio waves are getting refracted from ionosphere and then they are getting received by the receiver. Okay, so here you can see this is one wave which is getting refracted, but it is not getting that refracted that it would be received by the receiver. But radio wave 2, you can see it is getting refracted and it is reaching the receiver. And radio wave 3, you can see that it is also getting refracted, but it is going far ahead from our receiver. Okay, now let us see which frequency bands can be used as our sky wave. So medium frequency radio waves are partially reflected, so we can use some of the frequency bands from medium frequency. High frequency, all the radio waves will get refracted, so we can use high frequencies as a sky wave. VHF and above, they do not get refracted, so you can assume the red line as VHF and above frequency radio waves. So they do not get refracted and they escape the ionosphere in that case. VLF, LF, these two frequency bands, they get attenuated. We have already studied that attenuation is dissipation of the energy of radio waves, so it gets extinguished. So due to attenuation, VLF and LF cannot be used as our sky wave. So only frequency bands that can be used are partial MF and HF. After understanding the basics of skywave propagation, I want you guys to pay full attention to this part and understand these definitions and memorize them by heart, because I can guarantee you there will be minimum 5-6 questions from this section. So our first definition is angle of incidence. तो पहले की क्लासेस में हमने ऑलरेडी रिफ्लेक्शन ऑफ लाइट पढ़ा था, जहां पर हमने देखा था कि नॉर्मल से जो हमारी एंगल बन रहा है वो क्या होता है? एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस. सो देयर इज समथिंग सिमिलर लाइक दिस इन आवर रेडियो वेव प्रोपगेशन एज वेल. सो इट इज द एंगल दैट रेडियो वेव मेक्स विथ नॉर्मल ऑफ ट्रांसमीटर. नॉर्मल ऑफ ट्रांसमीटर क्या होगा? इन दिस केस यू कैन सी दिस ब्लैक लाइन, दिस इज आवर नॉर्मल, एंड रेडियो वेव जो भी एंगल बना रही है इस लाइन के साथ, दैट इज आवर एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस. सो हियर आई इज आवर एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस फॉर रेड वेव. ग्रीन वेव का क्या है? ये जो सी आई लिखा है दैट इज द एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस फॉर ग्रीन वेव, बट इसको सी आई क्यों लिखा है विल अंडरस्टैंड इन आवर नेक्स्ट डेफिनेशन. एंड अगर ब्लू वेव का देखे, सो दिस इज द एंगल ऑफ इंसिडेंस फॉर ब्लू वेव. So it is very simple. Angle that radio wave makes with the normal of transmitter is our angle of incidence. Okay. Now coming on to our next definition, which is critical angle. Critical angle क्या है? Angle that angle at which our first sky wave is received. So here you can see कि जो हमारी green वाली wave है ये इस अगर सबकी frequency हम same assume कर लेते हैं 30 megahertz 30 megahertz and this is also 30 megahertz. So if we send our wave at I, इस एंगल को हम assume कर लेते हैं 5 डिग्री, इस एंगल को हम assume कर लेते हैं 10 डिग्री. तो अगर हम 30 मेगाहर्ट्ज की रेडियो वेव को 5 डिग्री एंगल से भेजें, सो इट इज एस्केपिंग आवर आइनोस्फीयर. बट इफ वी सेंड 30 मेगाहर्ट्ज की वेव एट एन एंगल ऑफ 10 डिग्री, देन इट इज गेटिंग रिसीव्ड बाय द रिसीवर. सो बेसिकली क्रिटिकल एंगल क्या है? इट इज द एंगल एट विच आवर फर्स्ट स्काई वेव इज रिसीव्ड. ओके, सो इन दिस केस आवर क्रिटिकल एंगल इज 10 degrees. So all the waves transmitted at an angle of less than critical angle. So in this case, if you can see, अगर हम wave को 5 degree angle of incidence से भेज रहे हैं, then it is escaping our ionosphere. So all waves transmitted at an angle less than critical angle, that is less than 10 in this case, will not be received. An angle greater than 10 degree. So इधर blue वाली जो radio wave है उसको अगर हम 15 degree से भेज रहे हैं, so angle greater than critical angle which is 10 will get received. तो ये भी आगे रिफ्लेक्ट होके हमारे को मिल सकती है. So basically angle greater than critical angle will be received, angle less than critical angle will escape the ionosphere or get attenuated. Okay, now there are these two figures which I need you to remember. This is 90. So for 3 megahertz critical angle is 0 degree and 30 megahertz critical angle is 90 degree. Direct question in DGCA exam. Now coming to our next two and very important definitions, which are skip distance and dead space. What is skip distance? Skip distance basically distance from transmitter to the point where first sky wave is received. So our first sky wave was this green one which had critical angle of incidence, right? So basically it is just the distance from transmitter to our first sky wave. So here in this case it is x. Okay. Now coming to our next definition, which is dead space. Dead space is what? Distance from limit of ground wave to the point where first sky wave is received. So if the transmitter is sending sky wave, it is also sending some ground wave. Okay. So at this point our ground wave attenuates. So the distance from this point where our ground wave attenuates to the point where our first sky wave is received, this distance is called our dead space. In this case it is y. Understood? So from transmitter to our first sky wave it is skip distance, and from our ground wave attenuation to our first sky wave is our dead space. Okay, so basically dead space is the area where you get no signal. So you might remember from our previous video we have seen the relation between frequency and diffraction, attenuation, diffraction, etc. Now we are going to do something similar over here as well. We will be seeing the relation between frequency and ionospheric attenuation, critical angle, skip distance, dead space and ionospheric refraction. So let us see them one by one. First is relation between frequency and ionospheric attenuation. Attenuation is what? The dissipation of the radio wave. So we have already seen if the frequency is in VHF or a higher band like UHF, SHF, EHF, the frequency escapes the ionosphere, which means higher the frequency, attenuation is less. Because it is not getting attenuated, it escapes the ionosphere. Right? Now coming to our second point, which is critical angle. Higher the frequency is higher is the critical angle, that we have already seen. 3 megahertz critical angle was 0 and for 30 critical angle was 90 degree, right? So higher the frequency, higher is the critical angle. Now coming on to our next relation, which is frequency and skip distance. What was skip distance? Our first sky wave, right? So if frequency is increased, the skip distance also increases, because higher frequency will take larger distance to get refracted and be received by the receiver. Okay, so higher the frequency, higher is the skip distance. Now next relation is frequency and dead space. Try to understand this. This is our transmitter and this is our receiver. Suppose we are using 3 megahertz frequency. So as we already studied that lower the frequency, larger distance the ground wave will travel because less contact with the ground. So the ground wave will travel a larger distance if the frequency is less, right? And the sky wave, we'll assume it is getting received here. So this will be our critical angle, okay, and this will be our skip distance or our first sky wave, okay. Now what was dead space? It was this distance, right? Y, end of ground wave and our first sky wave. Now suppose we increase the frequency to 30 megahertz. Now we know that we have increased the frequency, so the range of our ground wave will be shorter because it will be coming in contact with the ground more frequently. So here the ground wave is traveling only this much. And as we know, as we have increased the frequency, our skip distance also increases. So our first skywave will be received somewhere here, okay. So now what is the dead space? It is from the end of the ground wave to the first sky wave for 30 megahertz. Let us assume it is x. So if we increase the frequency, our dead space is increasing. So it is written here, increase in frequency, the dead space increases. Understood? Now coming to our next relation, that is frequency and ionospheric refraction. So as we have already seen this, if the frequency increases, the radio wave takes a larger distance to get refracted. So here 30 megahertz is going to a larger distance because it is getting longer to refract. So if frequency increases, the refraction power decreases. Now why have I written these two in red is because whenever there is ionospheric attenuation or ionospheric refraction, what is common? The word ionosphere. So if you see the word ionosphere, remember कि relation जो होगा inverse होगा. Frequency अगर बढ़ रही है तो attenuation कम हो रहा है, frequency अगर बढ़ रही है तो refraction कम हो रहा है. In rest all cases it is directly related. Frequency बढ़ रही है तो skip distance बढ़ रहा है, frequency बढ़ रही है तो dead space बढ़ रहा है, and frequency बढ़ रही है तो critical angle भी बढ़ रहा है. So this is the way to memorize it, or else we have logically seen each and every explanation. So now before moving forward, there is one more point which is very important to remember, which is increase in transmission power. What happens to our dead space? So if we increase our transmission power, our dead space reduces. Now let us see how. So basically sky wave is unaffected with a change in transmission power. So our skip distance would be same irrespective of us increasing or decreasing our transmission power. But what happens to the ground wave? If we increase the transmission power, our ground wave travels a larger distance compared to a lower transmission power ground wave. So here in this case, X, this green radio wave has a lower transmission power, so it is getting attenuated over here, and skip distance is same. So Y is the dead space for green radio wave. Now what if we increase our transmission power? Our ground wave travels a larger distance and our skip distance is same. So here the dead space is x. Now you can see that x is lesser than y. So our dead space has reduced if we increase our transmission power. Now coming to our next topic, which is HF communication at night. And I want you guys to pay full attention to this topic because this concept will also be used in understanding the errors of NDB and ADF. Until now, if you like my explanation, please take a second to press the thumbs up below and give us the like. Now let us see what is night effect in HF communication. So we know that during night, the D layer of the ionosphere disappears, electron density in E and F layer reduces, and F1 and F2 layer merges. So as a result of this deficiency in electrons, what happens? Waves that were getting absorbed during the day will get transmitted as sky wave at night. So now let us understand this with this diagram. So basically during the day what was happening, lower frequencies were getting attenuated in the ionosphere because large number of electrons were present. So only higher frequencies were able to reach the receiver. But during night, due to deficiency of electrons, our lower frequencies are also getting transmitted as skywave. So this was our lower frequency wave which is getting received by the receiver, and the higher frequency which was used during the day is getting received way further ahead than it was getting received during the daytime. So this is what happens to HF communication at night. So now what will happen if the pilot does not change its aircraft frequency to a lower one? So basically, as you can see here, during night, this higher frequency wave is getting received at a much larger skip distance, whereas this lower frequency is getting received over here. So if the pilot does not change the frequency of the aircraft, so suppose it was 30 megahertz over here and this is 25 megahertz. Okay. So if the pilot does not change its frequency from 30 to 25 during night, what will happen? The first skywave is getting received over here, and if the aircraft is situated somewhere here, it won't receive any signal. As a result, the aircraft will lie in dead space. So the aircraft should reduce its frequency to 25 megahertz during night so as to receive this signal. Okay, so this is what happens to our HF communication at night, and we'll study more about this in our NDB EDF part. Now we Now coming to our next important definition, that is fading. What happens in fading is multiple signals are received by the aircraft or the receiver, which is like suppose the receiver is getting sky wave and is also receiving a ground wave. In this case what happens is static noise आ जाता है बहुत ज़्यादा. So this is basically fading. Now there are two short forms. They can directly ask you in the MCQ what is the full form of MUF, that is maximum usable frequency, and what is the full form of OWF, that is optimum working frequency. Now coming to our last portion of radio wave propagation, that is duct propagation. Now coming to our last topic, that is duct propagation or super diffraction. Basically there are just 2 points to remember. First is duct propagation happens where there is an inversion. So whenever there is an inversion there are high chances कि duct propagation हो. And किस frequency band में होता है? It is basically VHF and above. So as we know कि VHF frequency direct line of sight में receive होती थी या फिर वो हमारे ionosphere से escape कर जाती थी. But in case of inversion क्या होता है? Temperature increases with height. So in case of inversion, VHF and above frequencies वो क्या होती है? They continuously get reflected. Pay attention कि वो होती है reflected, not refracted. Okay, so they get continuously reflected between the layer and the ground, and इस reflection के बाद at the end it gets received by the aircraft. So इससे क्या होता है, उसकी रेंज बढ़ जाती है. So VHF and above, so basically direct line of sight में VHF की रेंज जितनी आ रही थी, but due to duct propagation आप देख सकते हो कि उसकी रेंज कितनी बढ़ गई है. So you just have to remember कि longer range होती है and happens due to inversion, and VHF and above frequency में ये होता है. And duct propagation is also called super refraction. The last full form to remember is DOC. This also will be covering in NDB and ADF. DOC is designated operation coverage. So guys, with this we finish our chapter radio wave propagation. If you like this video, please press the thumbs up, share it with your friends who are planning to give navigation exam, and do not forget to hit the subscribe button as well. Now from the next video we'll be starting with very high frequency direction finder, that is our VDF.